Hey, college football fans, it's Tom with Splinter Sports Talk, and we're sitting here discussing college football. We're in a new phase of the season now. We're in the college football rankings for the playoffs. We're not in the AP Top 25 no more. I think that was, as I said in the beginning of the season, I think some teams are only ranked based on who they are. But now we're down to the nit and gritty of the season here. Number one right now for the playoff rankings is Georgia. Number two for the playoff rankings is Alabama. Number three, Michigan State. They just came off the big win over Michigan. Number four is Oregon. Oregon is the only team that I disagree with right now. I don't believe they should be in the top four. Number five is Ohio State. Number six is Cincinnati. Number seven is Michigan. Number eight is Oklahoma. 9, Wake Forest. 10, Notre Dame. Now listen, I don't believe that Cincinnati should be in the top four. They do not play a tough enough schedule to earn them the right to play in the top four. I think any of those teams, whether it be Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State, would just destroy Cincinnati. So I don't think that they should be there. Now, the games that I would like to see right now, I kind of like these matchups a little bit. With Georgia, they would just beat up on Oregon. So I think that someone else is going to have to get in that number 4 spot to make a more competitive game. The other game there, Alabama, Michigan State, at this point in time, that wouldn't be a bad game. Now, Alabama and Georgia have a potential to play each other, which could knock Alabama out of the top 4. Also, Michigan State still has some tough games left with Penn State and Ohio State. Those games loom large for the Big Ten and the rankings, because you could get Ohio State up there. If they win out, they could possibly be in the top 4 themselves. Then at number 7, you had Michigan with that disappointing loss to Michigan State this weekend. So if Michigan State was to go out there and beat Penn State and beat Ohio State, then they could easily slip into that top 4 as well. Now, what we're going to look at this point in time is let's look at the scheduling of games coming up. There's not really a whole lot of big games this weekend. There's a couple games of interest. One game of interest would be Wake Forest, North Carolina. Can Wake Forest keep winning their games? They're scoring a ton of points. I think they're averaging 44 points a game. Can they stay undefeated and beat North Carolina? Other games of interest this week, again, Georgia plays Missouri, Ohio State at Nebraska. Those aren't too big of deals here. Let's take a look at some of these other ones here. You've got Auburn at Texas A&M. Auburn just beat Mississippi. Can Auburn keep winning these games here? See if Auburn keeps moving up. Oklahoma State, West Virginia. That's going to be a nice game. You have Michigan State playing Purdue. Purdue was a spoiler a couple weeks ago. Can they do it again? Tulsa is at Cincinnati. Cincinnati will destroy them. You go down here a little bit further, a game that I always like every year, Alabama, LSU. LSU will be at Alabama for that game. Indiana at Michigan. Big question, can Michigan recover from the loss last week? Indiana is always a thorn in their side, or they have been recently. So can Michigan pull that game out to stay in the top 7 teams or so? Then down below you got Oregon at Washington. That should be an easy victory for them. So this weekend we do have a few interesting games. It's not too much that should be earth-shattering and wreck the rankings. I don't think that's going to happen at all. So listen now, I hope your college team is doing great. And you know what? I'll catch you on the next episode and we'll discuss some more games. So anyways, take it easy. Have a great weekend.